Hey guys, so I've employed the use of a camera lady today in the form of my good lady wife, but I really wanted to make a video, but it's a busy day because we are preparing to leave tomorrow, so I won't have time to sit down with a tripod. And I want to make a video about signs from God because we all had a very profound happening last night. It was very beautiful. Now we still have two people from the Kilimanjaro climb with us, Jane and Shen from Scotland, and they met a girl from New Zealand called Ella. Is that right, Ella? Ella. And Ella was a little bit of a skeptic, and at the same time she sort of said she believed in God, but she also didn't think God would give her signs or answer her because why would she? She's just this insignificant person. Why would God himself answer her? So we sat for a while and I got talking to her, and it turns out her brother was having some trouble, and from what I could see it was spiritual trouble. He'd been fasting and joined a certain Christian sect, and he'd gotten filled with fear, as often the negative aspects of Christianity, where they're always telling you to fear demons and fight Satan, and instead of focusing on the love, instead of doing what Jesus instructed, people focus on the negatives. And it had a bad effect on him and completely altered his life. So I went through a lot of things with her, Zen principles about why she's significant, and you can incorporate that into your relationship with God and the Tao. And Emmanuel was there, who all of you hear me refer to as the Rasta. He is a Rasta to all intents and purposes, but he's very attuned and very connected. He can use number synchronicities just like I can. He spends time alone in nature like I used to when I had the ability to, and he'll fast alone up in the mountains and stuff like this. Very attuned person. And he was telling a story about how you get signs from God and how sometimes he gets butterflies. And he told a story of how a butterfly was on his hand and he wanted to take a picture, and he went inside and got his camera, and the butterfly had left when he did, but he thought just in case it comes back. And the butterfly came back and two others with it and landed on his hand, and he'd been meditating and praying, and he took it as a sign from God. As he'd finished saying it, and she was looking with a little bit of a skeptical mind, and it was night time, it was late at night, it was 10 o'clock at night, and we were all sitting outside at a project that raises money for HIV women in town where they serve food. And we were all sitting outside together, and a butterfly flew to where we were and landed on my head. And you could see that it eliminated the gestapo, the prefrontal cortex of your mind, the linear thing that has to have a solution and answer to it. It eliminated it in her, even if for a moment or two, or for a minute or two, it was gone. And I said, don't try to explain it away. Let it be what it was. Your linear mind can't process reality. It's weak. That's why we have the problems of humanity we face. And it was enough. That sign was enough, because she was in the right company. Otherwise it would have just been a coincidence in the wrong company. And it really helped her. I saw it helped her a lot to open up a little bit, to stop being skeptical. And obviously God wanted that, or he wouldn't have used this beautiful little being to come and land on my head in the middle, late at night when there were no butterflies around. And this is hugely important. The signs that we all get, 1111, feathers, butterflies, whatever it might be, you have to understand that the collective consciousness and the collective reality that we dwell within can be synchronized because the fingerprints of a creative force exists within it. And if it's a living sentient being, then they can all accept photons, which, as I've said countless times, are merely what we described as angels in ancient time. And they can come and they can do the bidding of God. And if it's not a butterfly, it can be something else. I shared a story after that last night about Hamburg, where I was feeling so bogged down. I don't like the city. And you can't see a clear horizon in Hamburg. It's just machinery everywhere you look at the docks, etc. It's quite a sad sight, really. It can be a beautiful sight if you want it to be, but it's sad when you've lived here and your eyes can see as far as the eye can see, the way God intended it to be. and I felt just so bogged down, and I went for a walk with Fritzy, and in the middle of the city, which is unheard of, an eagle flew at nearly eye level across the path in front of us when we went down to the docks. And it completely lifted the feeling I was in, and I knew this was a sign from God. It's not coincidence. What is that thing we call coincidence? So, the only reason we can get these signs and understand them is when we eliminate our linear processing system. And the signs can come for many different reasons. They can come to comfort you, they can come to awaken people, they can come to prove a point on behalf of the person speaking in the name of God. But the point and the matter of the signs are that you have to be prepared to accept that they are signs. And if you can sit in silence and then receive a sign, you don't need to explain it away if you don't want to. If it gives you the feeling that you require of comfort, then you know what it was. And if the mathematical possibility of it being coincidence, billions to one, then you know that it's from a creative force that has its intelligence in all things. And this is how we all in our lives here, all of us use signs from God. Myself, Fritzy, my friends, Emmanuel, the Rasta as you know him, my other staff. I even use signs to catch out people who wrong us, people who steal from us. I ask for signs, and we use them. And this young girl last night said, but I have my own two hands and feet, why would I call on God to help me? And I said, but I have prayer, why would I call on my own two hands and feet to do the job that is more easily done and better done by God? And it's how we perceive ourselves. You perceive yourself as a mechanical vehicle with arms and legs, and this is how you do things, then you eliminate a massive part of your anatomy, which is the anatomy of prayer, which is what the very core of your brain has a gland that is designed to allow you to commune with spirit. Your whole body is designed in that way. So if you're not using it, you're atrophying something which God designed you to use just as much as He designed your legs and digestive system and arms. He intended for you to pray. And I can only presume as He gives us signs, He intended for everybody to receive signs and guidance, just as the ancient native tribes do so commonly and used to persistently. We just don't do it anymore. We try to do it all with our linear processing system, and it has its benefits, but it also has its downfalls. And I think a happy balance between the two is what I try and hope I try to show in my spiritual videos. Is a happy balance between metaphysical science and physical science, intuitive science and logical science. And without that balance, we see the world tilting the way it is, where the environment is being destroyed. So ask for a sign from God and see if you get one. You're not testing God. Just don't do it for fun, but ask for a sign. If you've got a problem going on, ask for a sign. Ask for help with it. And if that help comes in signs or in a dream, then this is what God wants to do. I once read there are millions of angels are waiting to do a job, but God hasn't set them about doing a job. He hasn't set those angles of light to come to you with those photons, because nobody has. And He doesn't want to tamper with your greatest gift of free will, because it takes away the point of reality, because then you become a robotic happening inside the system that He created. So ask and open the door for the signs. Okay, God bless, guys. Bye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, as it really helps us to grow the channel and with it help more children here in Tanzania. Also, don't forget you can support our work by sharing with children in crisis here, be it sharing for a particular need or even sharing one-on-one support for education, housing, food and medical care. It can be done for as little as the cost of a cup of coffee a week back in the West after all. Just visit www.sharetanzania.co.uk to find out more. Lastly, remember you can also support us via Patreon, www.patreon.com/featherstail, and help keep us here in Tanzania to continue our work. The links for the website and for the Patreon are in the description box of this video. Love and light, guys. See you soon.